We are intent to use newspaper for reading the news rather than this time is spent for something else. So what is your say about this?
You as a reader, you find it frustrating that in the newspaper also there are more advertising and entertainment than news. But on the other hand, a newspaper in India is the cheapest newspaper. There's nowhere in the world that you get such a newspaper in 2 rupees or 3 rupees. In our neighboring country, Pakistan, a newspaper which is 12 pages, very bad paper quality, is being sold at 20 rupees, 30 rupees. So because of the historical fact that the print media started because of the freedom movement, at that time the thing was being circulated free of cost. For that purpose, that legacy has continued.
Social media has even they have earned the trust and credibility within a short period of time as compared to the conventional media.
It is correct. 20 साल 25 साल पहले शायद 25 साल की बात हो गई. One of the editor of a large print media said that my job is the second most important job in the country after the Prime Minister. सुना आपने कभी? He said that. Today they are worried that what will people say on social media about me.
So these days, a lot of news channels run, I think, 24/7. Not just Z, but any other channel. So in that context, I think a lot of news are being repeated over and over again. So in that term, in that context, how much credibility does a news lose? Because they have to fill in some news at some time. So do the news channels struggle? And is that also a cause of media losing its credibility? Is that a problem at all?
Yeah, there is a problem. Lot of repetition of the same news do cause the questioning on the credibility. They don't lose it, but they question. But आज के दिन व्यूअर के सामने एक चॉइस है, उसके साथ हाथ में रिमोट कंट्रोल है, जहां रिपीट आती देखता है वो निकल जाता है वहां से. I mean, it is also slowly becoming democratic in that sense. That nobody can force you to watch my news.
Now, we talked about credible media, we talked about responsible media, but there's another angle, like you said, and that's a sensitive media. Somewhere, I think, in this massification of the industry and the business of media, we seem to have lost that human touch. One, of course, is in finding out the good stories, but even when the not so good stories are being covered, media should be sensitive enough. We saw a good example in Nepal post the earthquake, where we saw a little insensitive media.
You're right. We have many, many examples where media has behaved very insensitively. As Dr. Natarajan said, that 26/11 happening at the Bombay Taj Hotel was one such case. There are hundreds and hundreds of cases. So we will discuss this insensitivity of the media. Yes.
So in print media, if you take now, actually what is happening is to reach the main page, it takes 3 pages to reach because a lot of advertisements are coming up. Yeah. And adding to that, if you open the paper, there are 5 pamphlets falling down about advertisements. And if you see in some leading newspapers, the entertainment section of the page is much thicker than the normal main page. Yeah. So what people are doing is when people want to spend 15-20 minutes every day to read a newspaper, most of the time is getting used by this.
See, these are both ways. You can answer these questions 2 ways. Both ways. One for, one against. You as a reader, you find it frustrating that in the newspaper also there are more advertising and entertainment than news. But on the other hand, a newspaper in India is the cheapest newspaper. There's nowhere in the world that you get such a newspaper in 2 rupees or 3 rupees. In our neighboring country, Pakistan, a newspaper which is 12 pages, very bad paper quality, is being sold at 20 rupees, 30 rupees. You go to London, you want to pick up any tabloid or any newspaper, it costs you £1, even more, sometimes £1.5. So because of the historical fact that the print media started because of the freedom movement, at that time the thing was being circulated free of cost. For that purpose, that legacy has continued. In print media particularly, the power is still in few hands in this country, despite there being 10, 12,000 newspapers. And they certainly do not want a competition to come up, so they have naturally kept the cover price of the newspaper very, very low, so that there should not be competition to them, because no newspaper, new one, have succeeded in last 30 years. Can you imagine? At national level, no newspaper in 30 years have made success.
Indian media is considered as the fourth pillar of democracy. So don't you think this pillar has been shaken with the rise of social media like Facebook and more specifically Twitter? This social media has even they have earned the trust and credibility within a short period of time as compared to the conventional media.
It is correct. 20 साल 25 साल पहले, शायद 25 साल की बात हो गई, one of the editor of a large print media said that my job is the second most important job in the country after the Prime Minister. सुना आपने कभी इसको? He said that openly. That was the mindset of the editors. Today they can't say that. Today they are more worried that what will people say on social media about me. So I would say that social media is helping the news media to stay honest. And more you will see that happening.
Sir, right now every media channel has an anchor who has a very vibrant personality and is visibly outspoken about polarizing issues. So do you think that during these shows the actual news takes a backseat when four or five people are debating on the issue?
Yeah, I had written in one of the things, people have rejected that. People don't want that fighting match on the screen anymore. Screaming, shouting, they don't like it. One of our editor was also going in the same direction. I said, well, dekho, this is what people are saying, let's not do it.
Sir, I would like to ask, the essence of media is passion to deliver unbiased news. So how do you qualify the top line management? The people who can deliver you numbers, or you really search for real passion?
See, my personal belief is that if you are honest and you listen to the people what they want, then the numbers will also follow. It's a matter of time. At least we are making an honest effort in our news media to try and do that. But it is difficult to change the mindset because the editors, the journalists, they also come from the set mindset. Today what is happening is people are really anxious what gives them the top line, what gives them the rating, what gives them more readership. And things are driven by that. I think if we change it to what people want and we respond honestly, I think we will meet both objectives. We believe that whatever is written on Google is the truth. It is not. My granddaughter was one day, she came to me and she said that I have to write an essay on Lokmanya Tilak. नहीं दादा मैंने देख लिया, Google पे देख लिया. क्या देखा? He was a militant Hindu leader. Can you believe that Lokmanya Tilak was a militant? This is where many of our reporters and journalists go wrong. मेहनत नहीं करते हैं. Google पे देख लिया, कुछ पढ़ लिया, खबर लगा दिया वहाँ. That is also one source that we lose our credibility.
I strongly feel that we have moved from information scarcity to information overload.
Yes.
So as an end user, even though people resort to selective reading, there is way too much of content to assimilate. So you as an end user, what is your take on that?
Well, nowadays the technology enables you to pick up, select what you want to, information you want to take. So that is one way to do it. There are websites, there are apps which are available that you punch the subjects which you are interested in, and you will get news only on those subjects. And soon you will see, even in mass media, what is going to happen is that the connected TV at your home, and you don't have to watch all the news, whatever is being shown at whatever time. There will not be any prime time. So you watch whichever news you want to watch at whatever time you want to watch. That's coming soon. So there may be over information which is available. And information, we believe that whatever is written on Google is the truth. It is not. My granddaughter was one day, she came to me and she said that I have to write an essay on Lokmanya Tilak, Bal Gangadhar Tilak or Lokmanya Tilak, whatever name you call it. So I gave her some information, whatever I knew. I said, beta, बाकी मैं information आपको कोई एक दो phone करके लेके देता हूँ. But then after half an hour she comes, said, नहीं दादा मैंने देख लिया, Google पे देख लिया. क्या देखा? He was a militant Hindu leader. So, this is where many of our reporters and journalists go wrong. मेहनत नहीं करते हैं. गूगल पे देख लिया, कुछ पढ़ लिया, खबर लगा दिया वहाँ. That is also one source that we lose our credibility.
Though we are discussing about news media losing its credibility, I would like to put forward a different viewpoint of this. If we see that nowadays news channel like to put forward the news in a very descriptive manner, like they would like to get more information about every single topic rather than the days before, and they would like to give the news much at a very earlier time than other competitors. So they would like to put forward the news first on their channel. So what is the benefit that people are getting is that they're getting a better information about every topic, and they're getting the news much faster than the earlier days.
Yeah, both things are happening, but many times in anxiety to give the news in advance from others, sometimes they make mistake also. But certainly that is the positive of our news media in India, that today, there is a fear in the minds of the legislature, the executives, even to some extent in the courts, that when something comes on the media, whether it is on social media, mass media, print, electronics, they are careful. They don't take things for granted as they used to. I remember 1970s, if somebody remembers, there was a famous Nagarwala murder case in Delhi. This gentleman was murdered in Delhi in daylight robbery. One day only some news came in the newspaper, next day onwards blacked out. Nobody talked about it, why he was murdered and who murdered it. You see case in example, we have just celebrated 40th year on 25th of June, emergency. The government could censor the newspapers at that time conveniently. It's a different thing that they lost the election because of the censoring of the news. They didn't know what's really happening on the ground. That resulted into loss of election. But they could censor. Can any government censor today? Even if they apply emergency rules? I don't think so. There's so much happening, so many social media, print media, TV stations, so many of them, that nobody can censor today. It's impossible.
But I find in China, media is completely censored. You can't access Facebook, you
But
can't access...
that is different, sir. That country is not a democratic country.
No, that's fine. But even here we can do that. If the government wants to do it, they can do it.
No, sir. In a democracy, you cannot do it. People will, I mean, this is a whole new subject altogether.
Okay.
I will tend to disagree, sir.
Right.
Because it's a whole new subject. I mean, I would say that we have got political freedom in this country, but we have not got social and economic freedom, even today after 70 years of our existence. And political freedom, or mean democracy, or whatever you call it, even today it is impossible. They tried to. UPA 2, I mean, then we heard 3-4 days it was a news in the media when they said that we are going to stop this social media, we're going to censor, we did this. But there was so much hue and cry that they had to back off second, third day. Today it's not possible. I mean, we are seeing these days so many actions being taken in a hurry by the executives or political legislative people, and you see all of a sudden 4 days, 5 days, they withdraw that. I mean, recent case of how do you file your income tax return. That income tax return form was almost 20 pages. They wanted you to fill up every single foreign trip of yours when you take up. Where did you go? How much money did you spend? All those stuff. And social media went berserk, and they had to withdraw that form. So it's not easy, sir, today. China is continuing, and they still have, all media is government controlled. And from day one, they put stop on internet. Everything is censored. We are the only Asian TV channel which is permitted or allowed. We have got license in China. But our entire programming goes through a check before it is put, though it is entertainment programming. And it is run about 6 minutes late, 5-6 minutes late. There people are sitting in our retransmission center in China. They go through every single frame by frame.
I wanted to ask, you being the chairman of the SL group, you coming and speaking in the front of public for about the media credibility. It takes a courage. But what I wanted to ask is, what after this discussion?
I believe that I am the change. I have to first change myself. I have to change. If I control a media, news media, I should change first. And I believe that if we change it towards this direction, what we have found out from people ourselves, first time a media company's owner and the editors have gone out to talk to people one-to-one themselves. And we know where we are heading, what people want from us. So we will change. But on the other hand, I think you can also join me in that change.
Sir, as you said, government cannot censor currently the media because of the power of the media, but there have been unfortunate cases like suspicious deaths of journalists or even an IT technician or IT professional in Pune. Can we say that because of such events, out of fear, media is giving in its credibility and bending down to big guns?
No. One stray case doesn't deter the people.
I wanted to ask, you being the chairman of the SL group, you coming and speaking in the front of public for about the media credibility. It takes a courage. But what I wanted to ask is, what after this discussion? Somebody talked about what about the follow-up after the discussion. What more can be done to gain the credibility back? It's just about the discussing it, or what more can be done from the media side to gain the credibility back to it?
I believe that I am the change. I have to first change myself. I have to change. If I control a media, news media, I should change first. And I believe that if we change it towards this direction, what we have found out from people ourselves, first time a media company's owner and the editors have gone out to talk to people one-to-one themselves. And we know where we are heading, what people want from us. So we will change. But on the other hand, I think you can also join me in that change. I'm going to certainly not leave this discussion here, just on the show, discuss the topic and go away. That's why I said we have formed a DSC club. We have 9 objectives. I have decided on that. 2 of them, we are leaving the local DSC club to decide. Whatever is the need with the local requirement. 7 of them, I will show you what our objectives are. This is the major problem today youth of our country do face. Most of the youngsters are confused that what do we do? So those confusion are because people don't know what their true talents are. Because all of us are born with some or the other talent. Our parents can't understand what the talent of the child is. And I'm sorry to say, I'm sitting in the Mecca of education, but even our teachers have not practiced it. I can tell spade a spade because I can put myself onto in same thing and I accept my follies and I defend myself when I'm not there, wrong. So same way, people are not able to find what their own talents are, and that's why there is a confusion. I've gone to other management institutions, engineering colleges, medical institutions. I ask them, "Kyun bhai, kyun aaye yahan?" Somebody says, "Because my parents wanted me to do the management." Usme naukri achhi mil jati hai. Somebody says, "No, my friends were going into management, so I also came." Someone says, मैं पहले इंजीनियरिंग करने गया था, लेकिन मैंने सुना कि इंजीनियरिंग करने वालों के आजकल कोई पूछ नहीं है समाज में, इसलिए मैनेजमेंट में आ। तो मतलब ये हर्ड मेंटालिटी है. You are doing it something without realizing what is your own talent. And your talent is what? Your repeated pattern of behavior is your talent. And accordingly see where your talent fits of what kind of study and what kind of jobs, what kind of career. You will have no confusion. And without confusion, you reach to the greater heights. That's what at least I have practiced, and I am where I am because I never allowed myself to be confused. Even if there was confusion, take decision, go for it. So this is what first one would be the objective, to identify talent of the people through our DSC club members and guide people that what they should be doing. And then it's a big thing, second one, to set up a institution which I have registered already. Brain Trust of India is the name. You will be surprised that 2.5, 3 children out of every 1,000 children born in this country is a prodigy child. But because our parents, our society at large is not able to recognize that they are a prodigy child, they are treated like any other children. With the result, those people get frustrated. They become burden on the society rather than becoming an asset on the society. Singapore, such a small, tiny country, equivalent to one city of India, have got 3 institutions looking after the prodigy children. Third one is related to the second one, open the schools for these prodigy children, and then to college, and then uske baad even a special university for them. And fourth one is again a large, many times I get this question, that I have an idea but I don't have money. We do want to become bridge between the would-be entrepreneurs and make them job givers rather than job seekers. So that is our fourth one. Fifth one is that when businesses go in difficulty, particularly small and medium enterprises, there are a lot of people, those who are lost. What do we do? Bad times have come. They have got more competition, something or the other. They are losing in the business. We want to set up a system that we can hold their hands and management and bring them out of those difficult times. That's our fifth objective. Identify the change agents for the DSC club. And we have put already a mechanism where when people like you say that I want to become a change, I said, are you in with me? You said, yes, I am in. So I have identified a IamIn.in. You can log in and see it. We are seeking people to join us to become a change in the society in various ways, various different things. And then I want to bring a larger change for the good governance by the government and the society at large. That is our number 7, because I want to publish a e-newspaper every morning for your city, for your assembly constituency or your parliamentary constituency. I want these DSC club members to take editorial control of those e-papers and bring out that newspaper every morning. We should have at least 600-700 newspapers in the country every morning delivered into the mobiles of the people or anything of that area which is relevant to them. If you want to join, certainly tell us, write to us on our mail, which is on your screens. And let's see 1 or 2 change people. What did the people do?
जहां दुनिया में डिफोरेस्टेशन के आंकड़े कई इन्वायरमेंटलिस्ट्स को चिंता में डाल रहे हैं, वहीं बेंगलुरु के शुभेंदु शर्मा अपने तरीके से इस मुद्दे से जूझ रहे हैं। नैनीताल में पैदा हुए शुभेंदु हमेशा से ही खुद को प्रकृति के करीब महसूस करते थे। इंडस्ट्रियल इंजीनियरिंग के क्षेत्र में पढ़ाई करके एक बड़ी ऑटोमोबाइल कंपनी में काम तो शुरू कर लिया, लेकिन इनका पैशन तब पूरा हुआ जब एक जापानी साइंटिस्ट से मुलाकात हुई।
I have done my industrial and production engineering, and I have worked for Toyota for 2.5 years, where I happened to meet this scientist. His name is Akira Miyawaki. I was very moved by the work which he do, and I could see that in just a small period of 1.5 years, we made a forest of 30,000 trees in the Toyota factory premises. I volunteered with him, learned the methodology, and eventually it led me to leave my job at Toyota and start a forest.
नौकरी छोड़ देश में वृक्षारोपण यानी कि फॉरेस्ट्रेशन के क्षेत्र में काम करने का फैसला तो शुभेंद्र ले चुके थे, लेकिन इस मुकाम तक पहुंचने में भी रोड़े कम नहीं थे।
Like any other middle class family, my family was a little reluctant in allowing me to go free and start the company, but the first thing which I did was I made a forest in backyard of my own house. And my family, my neighbors, my relatives, everyone, my friends, they participated in the planting of this forest. And eventually when they saw it grow, I think that gave them a lot of confidence that what I am doing is of really high importance and it's really beautiful.
वो कहते हैं ना, जहाँ चाह वहाँ राह, तो शुभेंदु ने भी एक राह ढूंढ ही ली। 2011 में इन्हें फॉरेस्ट की शुरुआत की और आज शुभेंदु और उनके साथ जुड़े 6 लोग 64 छोटे जंगल और 80,000 पेड़ लगा चुके हैं। हमें शायद आंकड़े काफी बड़े लगे, लेकिन शुभेंदु के लिए ये सिर्फ एक सोच की शुरुआत है और सफलता का मंत्र इनके पास एक ही है।
Ready to give your whole life for one single cause, I think then the problem is really going to solve.
तो अगर शुभेंदु की तरह आप भी लाए हैं अपने स्तर पर समाज में कोई बदलाव, तो हमें लिख भेजिए clubdsc@zmedia.slgroup.com पर और हम दिखाएंगे दुनिया को आपकी कहानी।
UPA 1 government, the then INB minister, who happened to be my friend, Priyaranjan Das Munshi. I told him, I said, sir, please don't distribute the news channel licenses like you are distributing a pan bidi shop license to open. This will boomerang on all of us and on this country. Today in India, out of 300 news channels, at least 150 channels are owned by the vested interest people. I've seen, particularly in this 2014 election, particular candidates have bought the local media very much. Those incidences do happen, and there are there. That's why particular media brands do lose their credibility. Also, certain independent individual reporters do lose their credibility. I don't know whether you have ever thought about it or not. A major reason that people these days are asking media these questions. And please take my comment. I'm not supporting any particular caste, creed, or religion, nor I'm against any caste, creed, and religion. I'm telling you the facts, what people have told us, and it's sensitive. So please, if somebody feel offended, I would seek pardon in advance. There was time, I would say 70s, 80s, that it was fashionable to be saying in the media that how best the socialistic pattern of the governance is. Why big moneyed people are thieves, why the market economy should not be supported, and things like that. It was a fashionable in the media to be known to be socialistic. Whether I practice or not is a different thing. So this was one thing which people are asking question. Second is fashionable to talk against the majority community than in favor of the minority community. आप अगर majority के favor में कुछ लिखते हैं या बोलते हैं मीडिया में, you are being termed as non-secular. This has been the scene of media and nobody questioned that. But these days people are asking those questions. What should media be doing in these particular issues?
In my mind, there is a very thin line between realistic news and opinionistic news. So in this context, there have been a lot of opinions which have been shared through the news forum. So that has to be taken into check, because mediums altogether, be it print media, social media, or the realistic news channels. So how do we go about it is going to be a question ahead, because this has been going on for more than 20-25 years.
I think I'm more optimistic today than I used to be before. And I think so much, you asked the question that there is too much information. But many times when there is too much information, it creates competition amongst the people who are generating the information. And naturally you are forced to do a better quality information. Like in any consumer products, you have 20 brands to choose from. Every brand will have to improve its quality and communication and everything, pricing, everything. So news is not different.
Hello, sir. There is a lot of satire websites that have come up for the news part. Like they are portraying the real news as if unreal news, and there was an incident where fake news was taken as the original news and published on a lot of websites. So how do you take these Unreal Times or the satire website, the faking news part of the social media?
See, what has happened, unfortunately, UPA won government. The then INB minister, who happened to be my friend, today, unfortunately, he is for the last 7 years, 8 years, lying as a vegetable, Priyaranjan Das Munshi. I told him, I said, sir, please don't distribute the news channel licenses like you are distributing a Pan Bidi shop license to open. This will boomerang on all of us and on this country. Today, in India, out of 300 news channels, at least 150 channels are owned by the vested interest people. Builders in Agra owns a news channel because they want to keep the police away from them. Already 20 cases against them registered. But news channel chala raha hai, police wala bhi darta hai. And I went to even Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. I said, sir, please don't do it. You should, like you are giving banking license, same criteria you should apply when you give a news media license. Because news media is more dangerous than somebody doing something wrong in a bank, because here you change the opinion of the people for wrong thing. But unfortunately, these days, some people are talking about propagating that there should be no security requirement for a news media or a media. So I mentioned on my tweet, I said, in that case, give Dawood Ibrahim also a license to run a TV channel. Yes.
Sir, we have discussed a lot many aspects as to whether media has lost its credibility or not. But I would like to throw a light on one aspect that I think media has really helped in changing the ideologies of Indian parents. Earlier, it's a very sensitive topic. Earlier also rape used to happen, but we never used to get exposed to that information that in what village, in which village of India, such things are happening. But now, as we saw in recent past in Delhi, when Nirbhay case happened, all of us, we were sitting in front of the TV channels and we watched that show with our parents. And our parents, they didn't shy away in discussing such things. So I think that is what media has contributed, and I can proudly say that today, Indian parents have changed their ideologies just because of media.
Good, thank you. At least in the last 1.5 hours, I got one credit. But let me tell you one thing. I don't know whether you saw it or watched this analysis which we did. BBC came out and said, Delhi, rape capital of the world. Did you hear that? And we were the only channel which refuted that with the facts and figures. UK has got 8 times more rapes than India. USA is 20 times more rapes than India. And they couldn't answer any of our queries. So with that, I would say that I don't think we have concluded any which way, but certainly one thing comes very clearly, that we as news media, we need a lot of doing. A lot of work is required on our part to be done for you and this August House to say, no, media is credible. And I assure you and my viewers that at least at Z, we will try our best. With that, thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
डॉक्टर सुभाषचंद्रा शो मध्ये सहभागी होण्याची इच्छा असेल तर आम्हाला SMS करा, DSC स्पेस द्या, तुमचं नाव टाईप करा आणि पाठवा 57575 वर. तुम्ही ईमेलही करू शकता dsc@zmedia.slgroup.com वर.
झी 24 तास रहा एक पाऊल पुढे.